Welcome to another episode of the Flagship podcast. Thank you for joining us today. I'm excited. So we are in pitch season. Those of you who don't know a lot about Flagship or what we do, we're a business incubator, and one of the best things we get to do all year is our pitch competition. So we're doing a special series this week to showcase all of our finalists. And so with me today is Kevin Long of Genoa Sales, one of the finalists for the 2024 Flagship Pitch Competition. Welcome, Kevin.
Hey, thanks a lot, Josh. I'm really excited to be here and really excited to be a part of Flagship as a leasee and a office space user. So very excited. Thank you.
Yeah, Kevin was one of our when we launched our co-working space, he was one of our first ones to move to one of our new private offices. And so I get to see him on a daily. It's like working in the same office. So
lucky you.
It's fun. So yeah, so Kevin, thank you for taking the time today. So I always like to preface, because probably a lot of the listeners don't know you, don't know your story, don't even know what your business is about. And so I like to set the stage with giving you some time to maybe share a little bit about that story. Now, again, we only have 30 minutes, so be kind to that time. But I'll sort of throw the ball in your court. Tell the audience, tell me, because I know you in passing, but I don't know your story. I don't know really where you come from or things like that. And so would love to hear about a little bit maybe about your career, about your family, and maybe what even got you into wanting to go this entrepreneurial route, because entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. And so it's not for everybody. So the fact that you're willing to sign up tells me a little bit of something about your grit and your tenacity. And so, but I'll throw it your way.
Yeah, so Kevin Long, I am from Crawfordsville, Indiana. I grew up there, and my dad was disabled and is disabled most of my life. I lived in a one-income household. So I feel like I get a lot of my tenacity and grit from just, being in that atmosphere, which I'm very thankful I was given the opportunity to be put in that situation. I know, that's where my character comes from, and echoing a lot of what I've gotten, my work ethic from my mother, working to put food on the table and doing what needed to happen. But first generation college student.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thanks. After college, got into sales. And, one thing that I have seen throughout my career in sales is it's all about helping companies and businesses solve their business problems. Oftentimes, I would build a relationship with somebody and I would sell them something that I was employed to sell. Yeah. And they'd say, "Hey, Kev, you helped us with this problem. Can you also help us with this one over here?" Well, my career is over here. My job is in this lane. I just want to stay in my lane. But after that happening, a number of years, I said, I'm just going to start my own business. And if these are what the businesses are, I have a product to sell and I'll sell that in my day job for sure. But if there's something I can do from 5 to 9 or on the weekends to help you build your business and help you solve your problems, why would I not? Why would I continue to help build someone else's dream as an employee than build my own? Yeah, no,
that's really good, because I think nowadays, it reminds me of a conversation I was having with a marketing expert, and they saw sales as like a curse word.
Yeah.
Like they're like, no, sales is bad. Like they had this very negative connotation just from their own experience of like, when they think sales, they think the car salesman.
Yeah.
Everybody does. And so they stopped using the word sales. This is a college professor that taught marketing, and they said they would only use the word sharing. I'm going to share something with you.
Oh.
It was very interesting. But tell me about that dynamic, because being in sales, you're already an entrepreneur. So there's one challenge. But now you're an entrepreneur that's focused on sales.
Yeah, that's
a gift. Not a lot of people are willingly choosing that. A lot of people choose entrepreneurship because they don't want to do something like that. And so obviously your skill set and your passion aligns with that. So tell me a little bit more about how you get through that without carrying that perception that probably a lot of our culture has of used car salesmen.
That's a great question. And to be honest, it's why I picked to be in sales. I was a philosophy and economics major at Wabash College.
Okay, that's very different.
Right. Yeah. The correct major to go straight into sales. I sought out being in sales because I knew that a lot of people had this stigma of the used car salesman, or they don't have a good mental image of what a quality salesperson could or should be. And so I wanted to, if I can sell the right way, that will help me. If I'm focused on building relationships and solving their business problems versus hitting my quota, then it will be easier, simpler. It's not easy, it's simple. So that is one of the things I said. I'd rather be a big fish in a smaller pond. That most people don't get into sales because they want to be in sales.
They don't.
They find themselves into sales after they didn't get into law school or they didn't get into med school.
Sure.
I said, I'm going straight. I want to be here. I'm going to be a student of the game. I spent the first year or two after school reading sales books, going to sales trainings. I was a sponge. I wanted to learn and master my craft.
That's cool.
And, I think that if you take a look around the best performing companies and CEOs, they have sales in their background. They understand how to connect with people. Sales is all about connecting someone's problem with a solution. And so if I could become an effective communicator and really tailor my business acumen and approach to solving other people's problems, good things happen. I know there are many books and many people could be attributed to this quote, but focus more on helping people solve their problems, not the commission that you're going to earn, and the commission will follow. If you help more people solve their goals, everything else will take care of itself.
Yeah, well, and you have an MBA, and that I'm sure a good handful of our listeners knows basic business acumen. But one of the principles I was taught early on, for business to work, the deal has to be mutually beneficial.
Yep.
Any business, whether you're a for-profit, a non-profit, go down the different structures. When you're doing a business transaction, whatever you want to grade that as, whatever you want to dub a business transaction is, whether that's a conversation like this, whether it's an actual tangible sale, whether it's a service, it has to be mutually beneficial.
Absolutely.
If somebody feels like they're getting robbed or they're losing at the table, you've already lost.
Yeah, absolutely. And because that's the difference between making a sale and building a relationship to have the sale. I'm in my day job, I'm a sales leader. So I'm teaching my team, it's a 3-legged stool.
Yeah, the 3-legged stool.
There's a 3-legged stool, right? And it's the company that you work for, the company that you're selling to, and your pocketbook, your commission, your quota.
Sure.
But if you tailor a deal one way or the other, the stool falls down, whether it's too far towards the company, too far towards the client, or too far towards your selfish endeavors, the stool falls over. So it's a 3-legged stool.
I mean, you're hitting on an important topic, not just for sales, but balance.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we're talking about here. So talk to me, a little bit about how that maybe concept, that philosophy of balance carries now over to your entrepreneurial life. Obviously in sales, you just represented it there, but now talk to me about a little bit that entrepreneur journey and how, you've mentioned you work a day job, you do the 9-to-5 grind, but you're still building a business on your own. You're married and have a family. You have a lot going on. Let's talk balance.
Yeah. Balance is hard, especially in this season of life. I have just over a 1-year-old.
Same.
Congratulations. Yeah. So we're both tired.
All the time.
But got married a few years back, had a baby right after that. I mean, just a lot of big life events. And I thought, you know what? I should start my business. No better time than now.
Not enough going on.
No better time than now. No, the reality of it is I was a victim of a layoff last year. And I thought, you know what? I never want to be in a position where my sole source of income is dependent upon someone else.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Who will at any point in time, at no fault of my own, number one top producing manager and team be impacted by a reduction in force. And so that's what the catalyst was, mostly because of the added responsibilities as a husband and a father that I have now. But, the way to balance that is I do things when I block around the most important time, which is family time.
Sure.
We've got your day job. You have to do your day job during that.
Gotta do it.
And then the rest is just fitting it in when you can. So I do things early in the morning. You'll see sometimes I'm the first one here to turn the lights on. And
yes, you are.
Most of the time I stay a little bit later where I'm the ones turning the lights off, So that is the biggest thing to me, is just setting aside boundaries, blocking with what's most important and fitting around everything else. But I'm a big Saturday, Sunday side hustle, build your own business kind of guy. So
you got to use the time you got.
Yeah, for
we
years.
all have the same amount of time in our week. So.
Exactly. Yeah, it's all about time, prioritization. So making sure you have a methodology around how to balance is going to – that's what really sets the winners apart. Everyone has 24 hours in a day. It's how they use those hours.
How you use them. Yeah, no, that's really good. Now, I don't want to get too stuck in like the philosophy or best practice or things like that, because it's really easy to just talk about, these conceptual things. But let's talk about your business. You're here, you're preparing a pitch, and you're going to be pitching here soon for a grand prize package. And so I want to hear about how you've sort of been doing that. But really, besides even that preparation work, tell me about your business. What do you exactly do? Tell the world, what does Genoa Sales do?
So Genoa Sales does sales and marketing consulting for small businesses. I feel that the small business is the backbone of the community in America. They produce the most amount of jobs out of any company segment in America. So I feel like future economic growth, specifically here in Madison County, is built on the backs of small businesses. And one of the things that I have realized dealing with small businesses for 15 years is people get into business to do whatever that business is, not to run funnels or marketing or sales systems around. I say it like this: bakers want to bake.
Yeah.
So if I can help with my expertise around sales systems and marketing systems,
so they can just bake,
so they can just get back to baking, then they're happy and their customers are happy because now they're responsive. So I started out, and I actually have a gift for you. So I coded this card it's an NFC card, and it helps you get more reviews.
NFC?
NFC, near field communication.
Near field
communication. So just like the tags to get into the doors, but it's like a hotel card. And I coded that for you to where if you're having a meeting with someone and you've built a great relationship and you've earned the right to ask for a referral or a review, they can just tap their phone to it. It pops up, and then they can go straight to your Google business profile and leave their review.
That's really cool. No, this has actually been a conversation of Flagships of like beginning to get more feedback from our clientele and who we work with.
Yeah.
That's pretty snazzy, my friend.
That's it. Genoa Sales, reach out if you want one. But I started by just saying, hey, there's two ways in business to have new revenue or create revenue. One is selling things to new people that don't know you, they don't trust you, they haven't bought from you before. Or the second one is setting up systems to where you can re-engage your current clients.
Yeah.
And the easiest way to do that is optimize your Google business, Google profile, making sure that you have a way to capture reviews to tell the world that, hey, I'm a legit business and I do quality work.
Yeah.
And then ask those current clients for referrals. So I started out and have been helping people. I started out to help businesses get new leads. Quickly realized the easiest way to do that is to get referrals.
Yeah.
But then, and this is why I pitched the expansion portion through the Flagship pitch contest. I realized they don't need new leads. They need to be able to efficiently and quickly take action on the leads that they do have, especially in the home services division. These guys have more work than they can take on.
Yeah.
And there are phone calls that go unanswered. There's messages on Google that go unanswered 3-5 days. Imagine that you go home today and you have a leaky roof and you call somebody to get it fixed and you leave a voicemail.
Yeah.
And you call another one and they say, hey, send us an email. And then you go, it's Friday night. It's raining all weekend. They don't work on Saturday. They're not going to reply. Monday morning, maybe they'll get back to you. More likely, it's going to be Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're talking about a real thing. And so I've told you, me and my wife, we're launching a business here in town. So we're in the process. We're remodeling the building, but I've reached out to multiple different painters to paint the exterior of our building. And crickets. Yeah. Not one has reached back out. And this has been months of like shooting like one of their info forums of like, hey, if you want a price estimate or things like that. And I'm like, they're just losing business, good business. Like I'm a paying customer that wants my building painted. And you're exactly what you're saying. There is a gap there because they're missing out on good paying business for whatever the reason is. Maybe it's bad systems. Maybe it's they already have too much work and they don't have enough people on their team, but there's clearly a gap.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that we're doing, especially with this expansion part, is just coaching them to connect those systems, put into an email drip campaign or an automatic text campaign or whatnot that answers the questions that you can off the top. Most people want to know, how soon can you do it? What's budgetary pricing? Answer what we can easily and quickly, and then get them into your regular, and sell the deal, and then ask for a referral on the back end.
Yeah. No, I worked for a company for years, and they built a philosophy, same thing, called working by referral. And it was built off of this idea of the best leads you could ever bring to your business are going to be referrals. Buying lists, cold calls, all those different old school sales tactics don't reap the same benefits as if you had an existing customer refer you a business or refer you a client and you execute well for that client.
Yeah.
Just conversion rate in itself, you see a way higher conversion rate with referrals than you do any other form of
100%
gaining a new lead.
Yeah, and so what we've done is we've gamified it. The core of our business, it has nothing to do with the new leads. It has nothing to do necessarily with the qualification or anything like that. It's optimizing those to get into a system to where you close the deal. And then once you do, turning your best clients into your best salespeople. How can we operationalize the people who have already bought from you, love you, reviewed you, and said, hey, we have given you a 5-star review. We've put our name out in the ether to vouch for you. How do we incentivize them through gamification to tell their friends and family?
Yeah, no, that's really good. That's, again, even just as a principle for any small businesses, small business owners out there listening, that's a great principle in itself. It's like you don't always have the budget to build a marketing department, to even have a sales department. So being able to, whether that's outsource or even utilize your customers to help build your business, I think is highly strategic.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's really cool.
It's a secret weapon. I always say the money's in the follow-up.
Money's in the follow-up. So for those who are listening, who maybe their ears are perked now from what you do and why you're doing it, obviously you're looking to ultimately provide value. You see this as a way of providing value, but then also in the reality of life, providing stability for you and your family. Like that's a fair cause. Like I think we all do that at some level of like we try to bless the world around us, but we also try to make sure that our household is cared for.
Yeah,
I think that's fair. So for those maybe listening that ears are perked and they're curious about what you do, how would they get a hold of you? How would they find you? How would they, if they want to talk about their business with you, how can they connect with you?
Yeah, the easiest way would just be to, you can connect with me on LinkedIn.
Cool.
Or the best, probably quickest way would be
Kevin Long,
MBA on LinkedIn. But the, probably the quickest way would be just send me an email, Kevin at Genoa. Kevin at GoGenoa.com. Kevin at GoGenoa.com. Sorry.
There you go.
I looked up, I saw myself, and I was like, oh my God, that guy's ugly. Got scared there for a minute.
No, so let's say it one more time. Kevin at GoGenoa.com. That's Genoa, Genoa. No, that's really good because I think, again, you're identifying a potential gap in sales, in conversions that a lot of businesses have. And so potentially you can provide a solution to many people's problem.
Yeah.
So no, thanks for sharing about that. So now let's switch gears a little bit because I want to get back to getting to know you a little bit. And so why Pendleton? Why Madison County? So again, this podcast, Flagship, is Madison County's home. This is where we live. This is the community we want to impact. So a lot of the people we're interviewing and we talk to are right here in Madison County.
Yeah.
And a lot of the questions come back to, out of everywhere in the world, out of everywhere in Indiana, why do you find yourself here in Madison County?
Oh, man. I tried to get away from Indiana as a whole for so long, and then I did, and I missed it. So a couple years ago, a few years back, I spent some time, I served my term in Boston. I served my time in Boston, lived in Boston, did a little bit of, commuting back and forth and whatnot, worked there. And then missed being here, missed being home. I wanted to work for Indiana-based companies. I wanted to build the economy in Indiana versus helping someone else build their dream in another state. And going all the way back, I was a 21st century scholar during college. And so I really, kind of forgot about that for a while. And I wanted to get back to building, helping economy and talent thrive in Indiana. So I moved back. I wanted to be closer to my family. I met a woman from Pendleton, and if you know anything about that, those people, they don't move away. I tried to get her to move to Fishers with me, wasn't happening. So sold my house, moved here after we got married, and the rest is history. But to be honest, I come from Montgomery County in Crawfordsville, very similar, just hardworking people that want to make it, want to do the best for their friends and family, and on the weekend, maybe cut loose and have a barley pop with their friends. And I like that attitude. I have a very blue collar work ethic. I have a very get whatever it takes. Yeah. And our community is thankfully surrounded by a like mindset there.
Yeah, no, Madison County as a whole, but even Pendleton, it's that small town feel. It's everybody knows everyone, and you sort of like you meet somebody new, you think, and then they're like, oh, you guys know each other, and you find out you're connected by some odd and way. I was at a local brewery for lunch today, and I ran into a friend. I ran into my boss, was meeting his son there. Like, we were all had different schedules, but that's just what it is in this area. It's Madison County as a whole is about 120,000 people, but it's super small town feel, and it's cool to stay local. And so, you mentioned a few things, but what are some of your favorite things about Madison County? Like, why are you happy to call Madison County home?
The community, I think there's so many great things in the community. Flagship being one of them, reinvesting into the community, giving opportunities, but there is a sense of local by choice. People want
local by choice. That's a good phrase right there.
People want to keep their dollars in Madison County. Downtown Pendleton does a really great job. I've been to many events and fairs and brew fest, stuff like that in downtown Anderson. They do a really great job of having a reason to come out of your house and engage with the community.
That's cool.
I really like that. And then I also think sky's the limit. You can make what you want here. It's a sandbox, and you can build your castle.
There's a lot of opportunity in Madison County.
The opportunity is high.
Yeah, I've shared. I'm newer to Madison County. About 3 years been here, and it's quickly become home. But not just that. It's just so much opportunity of growth. Whether you're looking at growth in a financial way of looking to invest in properties or become a business owner, or whether it's growth in community. Mm-hmm. Again, the community is great here. Meeting people, everybody's open to building something new. Yeah. And so that's just an exciting thing to be a part of, even if it's in a small bit. So it's enjoyable, and it's definitely become home.
Oh yeah, and I think we're in a perfect position, geographically, 69, not far from 70, 65, 74. We're in a perfect position in central Indiana. We're the crossroads of America. But Madison County as a whole, perfect position to have not only your business, and what I'm hoping my business can do is we're committed to Madison County. We're committed to Flagship. We're committed to building businesses in this building even, and hiring workers in this building. But the impact that my business can have is different than anyone else on this pitch stage because I'm helping other businesses make more money. I only make money when they make more money.
Sure.
Then I can only hire people when they can hire more people. So I'm thinking the ripple effect of how I can help.
Yeah. You need to see other businesses have tangible result for you to reap that benefit. And that's a trustworthy cause. You're not selling something that, hey, it may or may not work. It's up to you. And then you reap the benefit no matter what. It's only if it's mutually beneficial.
I'll be honest. That's the pricing structure of one of the products that we sell. It's think of it more of a commission. You want more leads? I'll go get more leads, and then you pay me once they buy.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty low risk.
It's pretty low risk. I've never heard of a structure like that. So that's pretty solid. Well, we're quickly running out of time. This 30 minutes flies by. So thinking about the pitch, thinking about, people listening, I want to wish you luck. You're going up against 6 other finalists. So 7 finalists total, including yourself, are presenting here soon. And it's some steep competition. So I wish you luck in that process. But for the audience who's maybe listening prior to the pitch, or maybe some judges are listening or things like that, what do you want to share about your business, something that you want to make sure that you're able to communicate here to maybe help pave the road of your message, of the story you're telling come pitch night?
Yeah, so personally, I think when I first saw the other contestants, I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna be tough." There's some rock stars.
It's some pretty cool lineup.
Yeah, a couple are clients of mine, and that's fun.
What a curveball.
Yeah, curveball there. And so after, as soon as we found out we were both in the pitch, I was like, "Listen, you're on your own. We're not talking until February's over." But no, I'm just kidding. I was like, "Man, this is gonna be tough." But then I thought, they might have bigger businesses than I do. They might have more employees. They may have more revenue. But at the end of the day, no one can tell a better story than I can. So that's my secret. I think my secret advantage is going to be my storytelling ability. So watch out for that. That's a little tip. Watch out for that.
I'm excited to hear the story being told. And so, so come late February, we'll be able to hear your storytelling skills. And so, Kevin, thank you so much for the time. Thank you for sharing your business with our community. Thank you for helping make Madison County hopefully a better place, a better home, a better place for entrepreneurs. You talked about that I-69 corridor. One thing, this might be the first time I'm saying it on camera, so I'll say it. But my passion is to make the I-69 from Indianapolis all the way up to Fort Wayne the entrepreneurial corridor. If you're looking to launch a business, this is the place to do it.
I believe
we look at Indianapolis, and there are a few different corridors that shoot out to the northwest, to the southwest, to the north southeast, and we're the one going up to the northeast.
Yeah.
I believe it's the northwest is hard tech. The southwest is SaaS and soft tech. I'm claiming entrepreneurship. And
Let's go.
Maybe I'm speaking into existence, and maybe it's a pipe dream. I'm okay with pipe dreams. I'm willing to dream big and shoot for the stars. So
I love it.
You're helping build that. I'm getting to meet some incredible entrepreneurs along the way that are helping build this corridor into what we see it as in the future. So
I think it all starts with the belief and then putting it into action. And a lot of people out there might have a full-time job and with a great idea. Start operationalizing your 5 to 9. You got a 9 to 5. What are you doing with the 5 to 9? What are you doing with the Saturdays? Because that is going to be what it takes to make that dream happen. And I'm here for it.
Well, I was going to ask you that question, but you already hit a home run with that answer. I was going to ask the question of what would be the advice you give to another entrepreneur who's maybe playing the grind of the 9 to 5 and trying to find that balance? And well, you already said it. If your 9 to 5 is taken, utilize the 5 to 9.
Utilize the 5 to 9. Come up with your plan. A plan and a dream is only the very first, maybe the half of a step.
Yeah.
And then take imperfect action. Just take action. I started this business focusing on getting reviews, and now we're talking about 2, 3 different 4 things that we're helping people do. Find a problem, take action, and it will morph and it will evolve.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Kevin. Genoa Sales. Keep an eye out. We'll have more content coming up from the pitch. Probably later in the following months. But thank you all for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Reach out to Kevin. Grow your business. Be local by choice. I love that phrase that you use. Be local by choice. Find an entrepreneur, support them. It's better than going to the big box store and continuing to deepen the pockets of people who don't feel it. Let a family feel it. Let a family be blessed by your daily consumption. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you next time.
Have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the Flagship podcast, sponsored by Pinnacle Systems. Visit our YouTube channel for the full-length video podcast, or find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. New podcasts are posted every month, featuring local leaders from Central Indiana, For more content, follow us on social media at Flagship Enterprise Center. Until next time, thanks for listening.